Hey everybody, Gary here again. This is going to be our next vehicle that we're going to be working on. I've got to refinish the grill, rims. They're not all that great. I'm going to black out the emblems with some real paint because I believe the owner tried to do the brush stuff on there and it didn't work out. Going to be doing the gas door as well. All the emblems across the car, now that I mention it. But I wanted to talk to you about the purpose of guide coat. I had made some mentions about the video on how to paint your car with spray cans, and there's a few people that I mentioned that you know, once you get the primer on there, you need to guide coat it, sand it down, and they're kind of like, well, what's the purpose of a guide coat? So this is going to be the purpose of a guide coat. Now I would like to mention, this is just cheap spray paint, you know, that, oh, what is it, the 89-cent can you get from Lowe's or whatever. That's really the way to go. Okay, so before we get started, let's talk about some of the tools we're going to use. It's just going to be a block. And because someone's already done the previous body work to this, I'm just going to make sure everything is straight and finalized. So we've got some 220 grit sandpaper on a nice firm rubber block. Oh, and there's a bee. Oh geez. Let me shoo him away. Hang on a second here. Dog's going crazy. Okay. I got the bee away. Now just to be safe, I'm going to mask off this because this is going to be our blend panel. So just kind of take some tape. Never hurts to be a little extra cautious. Okay. So, move this out of the way here. Now you see where all this black spray paint is at? This is going to help you identify your highs and lows. So you just want to take your block and sand in a crisscross pattern. Now let's stop right there. Now you see very quickly where we sanded. There's the this is probably like Bondo brand body filler. I really don't like that stuff, but anyways, you see where all the black spots are still left? Those are your low spots, and that's what you want to do when you use a guide coat. Is you use a darker color over a lighter primer and vice versa, and then you give that a sand, and then that will show you where all your sanding scratches still are from the coarser grits of paper, and that's where you still need to keep on sanding in order to get rid of all that stuff. So I'm going to work this a little bit, and then you'll start to see where we get with our 220 and see where more of our highs and low spots are. And yes, I am wearing a mask. Protect your lungs, you don't want to breathe this stuff in. Now, here's a few things to note when you're blocking. Don't take your block sander and do this little tiny strokes or you know, any circle sanding or anything like that. Because what's going to happen is you have that block on a leading edge, you're just going to dig a ridge into it. What you always want to do when you're block sanding is you want to keep it flat. No angles, no nothing like that. And just sand in crisscross patterns. There might be situations where you have to, like right here against this door, knob here that you'll have to, sand, horizontally. That's okay for that situation. But always remember, keep your block flat. One last thing to note before I end this little tiny quick video for you. Don't be shy to change out your sandpaper. One little piece is not going to do this whole thing. I'm probably going to use 3 or 4 pieces of this 220 grit to get this thing ready for another session of primer and then for our 600 wet sanding process. Skimping on this stage, you're only doing 2 things. 1, you're slowing yourself down, and 2, you're not going to make the job come out as good as it could be. So there it is, guys. That is the reason why to use a guide coat to help you identify your highs and low spots, so when you reprime and block it out the second time, you're going to be ready for paint. Okay, maybe not second time. It might take 3 or 4 primer sessions. I don't know. Just kind of depends where you're at. All right, guys. There you go. Take care. See you later.